Greetings and salutations.
Bueller.
Hey guys, I am Sam, and this is After the Bars, and my special guest is Susie Oberholtz. Is that how you say it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'm
Let me
Sam
turn this
Yarbrough. Since I give your last name, I'll give mine.
Yeah. Hold on.
And we are. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just trying to get my iPad turned off so we didn't have an echo.
Oh, okay. I know.
Sorry.
Dude, that happened to me yesterday. It's like everyone, I hear an echo.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone can hear us. Can I get a 5x5? I guess that's the thing, right?
I just refuse to say that.
I know it's so. But
we need to come up with another one. We need to come up with something better.
Yes, let's do that. Let's invent something. There we go.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So, we are here today because of the long con recording. I almost canceled this today. I wanted to do it, then I didn't want to do it. Then I wanted to do it, but then I watched a video from Brett from the Lifeboat and from Marissa yesterday, and I mean they're lying, and so yeah, I mean to put it lightly, like, look, a lot of people are asking why did I wait till now to like put out the longer version? And someone asked me yesterday when I was covering the Karen Reed trial, and I didn't cover that today because I had a family issue, and also I knew it was a half day. For real, I thought it was going to be the ARCA hearings today, and then tomorrow was going to be just some weird hearings, but they did have a little bit of testimony. Anyways, I got a lot of emails talking about the video from yesterday. Brett calling me a Nazi, an unrepentant Nazi, and that we took that Reese and I took. How did he say it? Something about that we edited it to make him sound worse or something like that. So regarding the tape, I helped Reese, like I gave Reese support to put out that tape. She was putting out that tape. When Brett told me to call her, and he was like yesterday, he's like, if I had to put money on it, I would say that, he called her and not her called him. Well, yeah, I've been saying that. I've been saying he told me to call her and figure out the Jester video. And because he was over it, he was done. He was disappeared for a week, and we had a show to do, and he wasn't there for the show, and so he just said, you know what, you call, you deal with it. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't even going to do that. I was like, you know what, F this video, I don't care. I knew I wasn't getting paid for it, but to be fair, they offered to pay, and I said no. Because I was along for the ride for the Jester stuff. And but then after I heard the tape, she said, why does Brett not like you? That was the first thing she said to me. And I was like, I didn't know he didn't. She's like, well, he just says, like that you're a junkie, that you're still using, that you're always falling asleep during the lives. And I'm like, what? For real? I mean, I have been tired because I stay up late editing videos, and then I get up at 5:30 to take my daughter to school, to get her ready, braid her hair, take her to school. And then I do get a little tired, and but I don't think that I could be a junkie and raise my daughter and have a clean white, everything on the other side of that door is, I like to look at it that it's nice and pure and clean and sober, and we worship God and go to Bible studies, and that I would just be in here just shooting heroin and falling asleep at the wheel, and being on YouTube. If I was getting high, I would not be on YouTube. No, I would not be on YouTube. I would be out running amok, selling drugs like I always do, and be on my way back to prison. So that's that. So Brett was right. I did call her as per his request, and I have all the texts to prove that. If anyone doesn't believe me, or if I needed to do that. And so regarding me not putting it out sooner, so like right after all that happened, I would say like a week, maybe. I would say maybe a week. And I didn't edit the video. I didn't take out the names. I didn't cut out the last part. That was one of Reese's friends, and I don't want to dox her, one of her mods. But I don't believe the lawyer stuff. I think she has a friend that's a lawyer. But I don't think she has like this lawyer that she's running everything by. Yeah, I just don't think that. Maybe she does. I don't know. I don't believe she does. Not that she couldn't afford it. She's, she made 40 grand last year or something like that. So anyway, so the reason why I didn't put it out after that, because shortly after that, we were contacted by law enforcement, and so I had sent them a copy through someone else. Anyways, but I did end up talking to the law enforcement, because one of the victims said, if you have nothing to hide, and I think you guys remember that when I came back from my trip and I got the watch, and someone was in my chat saying, if you have nothing to hide, read my email. And the email had this Homeland Security agent's information on it. And they said it seemed like he wanted all my text messages between me and Brett. And he goes, do you have a problem? They were like, if you don't have a problem with that. So I reach out to this guy, right? And he calls me back like 2 days later. And he's like, what's up? And I was like, well, I mean, you want my text messages? I have no problem. Do you want me to take it down to like a field office here in town? And he's like, I don't want your messages unless you guys are involved in some kind of scams or something. I'm like, no. He's like, well, I don't want yours. I want the victims. They're all ghosting me. Like they're not communicating with me. Right. And I'm like, okay. And I ended up talking to him for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And he was like, just tell me, man, this is a mess. I was like, man, it must be crazy. Cause they're getting all these, he's probably talking to all these different people that have all these different perceptions of the situation. Do you know what I mean? And when we kind of laughed about that, and I told him my history, been to federal prison, busted for drug trafficking, busted for counterfeiting 50s and 100s. And he was like, wow, that's crazy. He's like, you're doing good now? I'm like, yep, absolutely. So anyway, that's why I didn't release it, because he didn't say don't release it, but everyone else was saying that that's what they were being told. Reese had texted me, and I can show all those texts, that she was working with them, and that she was told that no one else can have that video. So that was that. But he really didn't care. He's like, there's really no crime. That's what he said. He's like, the people gave the money willingly. And like, he didn't say like, hey, I got a boat for sale, or, he didn't say anything like that. No digital downloads, no merch. People, yeah, he might've lied to them. I don't know. But I mean, he admits that he lied to them. I get that. But even some of this tape seems a little grandiose. And I think he was like, just kind of telling like this grandiose story, to Reese for some of it. Now, I do believe he did take money from the girls that are talked about in the recording, but I don't know. It just seems real. It just seems like he's acting a little bit. What do you think, Suze?
I don't know. I go back and forth between thinking that they did it together. I don't know why I'm echoing. Can you hear me echoing?
Nope, you sound good.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. Sometimes I think they did it together, like as some kind of scheme. I can't really figure out the payoff to it. But
Hmm.
then other times I think I don't know. I wondered if like okay, I've got a cousin that and I this
Hmm.
is probably the only person that I have been around when they're actively high on something big, other than weed.
Yeah.
So when he's high, he will tell everything. It's almost like a truth serum. He will tell
Hmm.
everything and go
Hmm.
into all these details and everything. And so I don't know if Brett does that, but it made me wonder about him because it reminds me of my cousin, where
Wow. Yeah.
his inhibition goes away and he just tells everything. So I go back and forth between, is it a situation like that where she was, asking these questions and he was just like vomiting the information out, or were they,
Yeah.
on it together? I will say that I'm not surprised either way with her sounding very calm, cool, and collected. The woman was in Scientology. She went through thousands of hours of bull baiting. She knows how to not react. She knows how
Hmm.
to like ask somebody questions and not have any reaction to the answers. The only reaction I think is funny is when she's so concerned about, is she pretty? Is she this? Is she that? That makes me think that it was real. So I go back to the thinking that it was a real thing. She was bull baiting him basically.
Hmm.
And, her concern was she pretty? Or were you flirting with her? Was she flirting with you? That kind of thing. And I think that
Yeah.
he's like, it was like a truth serum. I think he just vomited the information out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
I can say this: when I used to get high, in certain situations, I would tell way more information than was probably that, you know what I mean? Like just to strangers, or like wanting to be cool, um,
Yeah.
or just high and happy, and just be like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I was down in Vegas and I sold a pound down there." And,
Yeah.
sometimes I was telling the truth. Sometimes it might've been a pound, but I would say 5 pounds, and,
Yeah.
I'm running amok, and,
Yeah.
yeah, I did that
Yeah. I'm
a
telling you,
lot,
my cousin,
really.
he wouldn't lie, he wouldn't be lying, my cousin. He would be
Yeah.
telling the absolute truth. There would be things that
Mhm.
I absolutely knew were true, but I'm just like, "Shut up. You don't have to tell, you know, you don't have to tell
Yeah.
everything."
Yeah.
Never wanted him to know anything about me because 'cause he'd have told it.
Yeah. My
Like, "Dude,
cousin
we're not
Susan,
friends."
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what she does.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. Um,
Mm.
well, so I think that's pretty telling, actually, because the parts that were edited out, and again, she didn't do it, she directed someone to do it. Um, she does leave out parts when she's asking if they're pretty, and then she becomes mean girl after that. And that is like probably 80% of my motivation of playing the rest of that and showing those parts, is because she was like mean girl to me too, behind the
Yeah.
scenes. When I thought her and Tommy were my friends, they were both talking a lot of shit about me, and I was coming in good faith, working on anything they wanted to work on. It could be logos, banners,
Yeah.
intros, um, and even my wife was like, "Are you getting paid?" And I'm like, "Well, eventually, honey, eventually." And she's like, "Okay," because
Sure.
I'm yeah, yeah, because I'm asking her, like, I need to stay up late and do this and get this knocked out. And that's usually her time. We watch TV,
Yeah.
the Righteous Gemstones or whatever we're watching at the time. And so that's my motivation for doing it. I demonetized this video.
Mhm.
My super chats and everything are down. And I took down my donation link out of my description on my page. I don't want any money at all from doing this video. at all, not even a little bit. And
Yeah.
because I could. I mean, look, we already have
Oh,
319
yeah.
people in here.
Wow.
But and look, I'm broke. Like, I'm tattooing my ass off right now to pay bills. But and maybe I'm doing it the wrong way, and maybe I'm overthinking everything regarding my channel and the content. I don't know, I don't know. I just know I just want to be I know this sounds so people pleasing. I just want my show to be liked, and I want
Yeah.
people I want the community to feel safe. I feel like there's I don't want to use the word PTSD from the other channels, but it's a form of that, and
Yeah.
not like true PTSD, but like everyone's super leery of the content creators that they're listening to and that they're
They
watching.
are.
And I
I am
get
too,
that.
and I know you probably are too. We all are.
I am.
And
I
I
am.
think as creators, we're so, like, hyper paranoid that we're gonna say anything that makes it look like that we're grifting or trying to, make a buck off
Yeah.
of it. And I didn't worry about that stuff before. I just did my show, you know?
Mhm.
And now I'm, like, always worried that somebody's gonna think that. It's horrible.
It is horrible. It is. I think my audience now is they trust me, and
Yeah,
from what they have said, and I do over explain things a little bit. They're calling it Sam-splaining.
I do the same
I do
thing.
Sam-splain a little bit. I catch myself. I try to, but I don't know. I just when I watched that video this afternoon of on the lifeboat, I was just like, this dude, man, this
I
dude,
haven't watched
like,
it yet.
just do your show, and let the FTG guys, and I consider myself FTG now. Let us just do whatever we want and ignore us. If you feel like you can't, then come out and just say it for real. Not like, I'm not going to do anything against content creators, but
Uh,
those people know who they are, and they're all Nazi skinhead pieces of shit and unrepentant, and I don't know. But it is funny that he must have seen something that really upset, because I could see the rage underneath.
yeah.
I could see it. I could see it. All right, let's get to this
So
thing.
weird. Okay. I'm ready.
I have to at 5:30, but yeah, great. Look, I get it, you guys, that this is you guys have heard this already a bunch, and Knife Hoarder and I don't know who else, but have been playing little clips of it, and so you guys kind of get the gist of what's going on. So what I did is I made a video from start to finish. I added, so in the captions, the captions will get they'll become bigger, and they'll be red and white instead of just white when it's when it had been removed, and I added it back. Does that make sense? Did it? Kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the captions changed,
milligrams of Audubon. She ended up taking 14 milligrams of Audubon.
I got to start it from the beginning. I did like a cool little intro thing.
Yeah.
It's how I feel.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know your codes. I don't want to know your codes. I could easily know your codes.
Fuck, you don't.
So you do this because you're conning people, just so I'm clear.
What difference does it make why I'm doing this? Yeah, I was doing it because I was fucking conning her, and she is mentally unstable, like very few people I do. In the time that I've known her, she's been hospitalized 5 times. Twice because she fell after eating a handful of fucking Audubon. And the other 2 were because she ate so much of it that they had to fucking give her chemicals to bring her back out. She's gonna overdose and die, and I'd like it not to be on me if I could fucking avoid that.
And that's been going on for a couple of years?
No, in the beginning, she was actually fairly fucking stable. And then she had an episode with this dude, John. And I don't know what happened. Honestly, she's not ready to fucking come clean. Something happened with her and John. I don't know if it's physical, emotional, but there was a breaking point with this woman where she called me and said, I'm thinking of taking an Ativan. And I said, go ahead. It's why you have them, so that when you're stressed out, you take them. It's a prescription. You don't take them every day. I see no reason with you not taking 2 milligrams of Ativan. She ended up taking 14 milligrams of Ativan, right? Which stopped her ticker. And I said, I can't work with you anymore. I can't work with people who try to take their lives, right? Because I'm not good enough for this, right? I'm a fucking weekend hack that talks to people about getting sober. I'm not a fucking doctor. She assured me it wasn't trying to take her life. She didn't realize how many she had took. The second time it happened, she took 6 milligrams, fell down and took 4 stitches in her head, right? The woman's a fucking unstable piece of shit. She also happens to be really rich.
You know, I
got somebody 2 years ago for $30K, and maybe you'll hear about it someday. It's a chick, but I didn't fucking tell her I loved her. I didn't do any of that. I fucking conned her.
okay. You do realize that she is conning you back by being manipulative about the Ativan, because she talks about it a lot. She does like that weird ex-girlfriend thing, like, oh, I'm just going to slit my wrist if you don't call me back. Like, she does that. I assume you're aware of that, right? Because she talks about it a lot. I'm just telling you that because she's manipulating the shit out of you.
No shit. Yeah, my brother's willing to take that heat for the amount of money that this woman will put up, because honestly, he could use that kind of money, and he's a scumbag who will happily milk her. And I'm not fucking comfortable doing it. I could hit her for 10 grand a month. I'm not comfortable being the dude I used to be. And I couldn't figure out a way out of this fucking thing. And I honestly sat down and figured it out on paper. I even wrote down literally the bridge. The bridge.
Do you think if you just stopped talking to her, she'd kill herself? Is she that tied to you?
No, she won't kill herself. But she'll go on a bender. And in that bender, she's going to get hurt. And she talks to 40 people on the lifeboat. And then I'm going to get the Tommy blew her off. She did so much drugs she needed fucking, I can't.
Do you consider her a true friend?
Oh my Christ, no. The woman knows nothing about me. Nothing. Nothing that hasn't been on a video. I've never had a conversation with her where I share something from my life, with the exception of losing my fucking mind and being honest with her on fucking the day that...
She was upset that we got engaged, Tommy.
I would imagine she was.
Is that because you think she's in love with you?
No.
You don't believe that?
That she's in love with me?
Yeah.
Not in the sense of the word that you think. She doesn't have any desire for me to move to Florida and move in. That's not even in the back of that crazy woman's mind. She likes somebody other than a therapist who's cool as shit. And as far as she's concerned, I'm cool as shit. She's never made an even slightly overt sexual, never made any reference.
I mean, I don't know because you've talked to her for 2 years. But I do want to make that clear. It's not that. But she is, like you just, it's like a platonic thing or something, but she is in love with you, no question. And it is slightly not platonic because she is upset that you're with me.
She's upset because I'm with you, because like a dumb fucker, and I know better than this. But I fucking went off on how much I hurt. For an hour and a half, I talked about how what you did hurt me. So when I came back and started getting back together, it would be like Johnny saying to me, I'm going to get back together with my ex-wife. And I would go, you're going to do fucking what? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? That's what happened.
So you put yourself in the position of doing that.
Yeah, I fucking talked to her for 2 fucking hours the day that I left here. And you know what? It could have been anybody else, and I'm probably lucky it's legal because I couldn't get a relative of mine on the phone. Thank God.
Well, they know now.
They have no idea. People don't forgive.
I'm just telling you, she's very emotionally manipulative.
No shit.
I've been telling you that.
Did I ever argue that point with you?
I don't know, because it's such a touchy subject, honestly.
I have never argued that point. I know I'm being fucking manipulated. Call Johnny. You guys are tight. Text him and ask him what I've said about her. No prep, right? I haven't talked to Johnny. Ring him up.
The only thing Johnny said to me about it was in Tucson. He came up to me when you were live, and he said, do not let this thing be a problem. You must have said something to him.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I know why he said it. Remember the three of us were sitting on the couch and I brought it up? I know what she looks like. I'm not worried about you cheating. I know you're not a cheater. The thing that bothers me is the thing that you've always said bothers you. Talking to someone. What do you always say to me? I want to be that person for you.
Find what I said in this phone where I talked to this woman in a relationship. Go ahead, I'll open it up for you.
No.
Seriously, I'll give you the whole fucking thing. Here's the... Find where I opened up. Show me where I'm having a relationship with her. I'm a fucking counselor to a fucking psycho. Read that and show me someplace where I'm opening up and talking about the things going on in my life, right? Find in there, and you'll find it. You go back far enough, you'll find 3 places where I talk to her about what's going on in my life, and at the end of every one of them, you know what happens? Without me asking for it, she sends $5K. If I'm saying anything to her, it's because I'm fucking working her. And it's the way scumbags do. You want to know how a guy works you? I'll tell you, just in case, right? You say something like, hey, how you doing? Not bad. Something's up with the car. I mean, it's nothing big. It just makes this weird fucking noise, like a thump, 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 thump in the front. I have no idea what it is. Because what I'm doing is, I'm setting her up for Friday on Monday, right? Because on Friday, she's going to text me, and I'll wait for her to text. And I'll say I'm in a fucking parking lot with my fucking car dead, and she'll put $5 fucking grand on the wire, and I won't ask for it. So, relationship. She sent money because she believed in what the
Did she text you like you and
This is fucking so bad. She's a rapid cycle bipolar fucking lunatic. So we had very normal conversations that were very much like people in the lifeboat asking for help until she would go manic. And then I would have 7,000 texts in 24 hours and they were fucking...
Where is she now?
I would assume in Ireland.
But I mean, you don't talk to her?
I blocked her. And I said to her, I don't want to do this. You've been so helpful for the boat. And it wasn't about me.
Was she in love with you?
Oh, yeah. But absolutely more overtly than, like, never made an overt act. This woman was in love with me, which is why I blocked her. But I gave her so many chances and documented it, but...
You know what it is? I think me even just knowing everything you just said, I mean, you're going to make your decision on what you're doing, but I have to tell you, I appreciate your honesty. That's all I wanted from you when we were driving back from Vegas. If you would have just said to me, I'm working her, like, I really thought you guys were best friends. That's what was hurting me.
Have you ever heard her voice?
I feel like I heard it once in Kansas City when you guys were on the phone, but I can't remember.
You know that you come here often. I'm not being funny. That's the woman's voice. I couldn't even...
Tommy, have you seen her face? Who cares about her voice?
The point, I couldn't fuck leave for cash. But I couldn't be a fucking friend that could talk to her on the phone either. It's like fucking nails rubbing up and down.
But
Sam, I think you're muted.
Yep. Thanks. So yeah, that was a part that she edited out. I mean, for obvious reasons, you know.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I didn't know that. I thought you guys were truly friends.
I did tell you, whether you believe it or not, that this woman is not my friend. I've never once said was my friend. It was a woman on the lifeboat that I work. And I said this to you. I said, I don't fucking correspond. I can tell you every problem in this woman's life. She could tell you about the fight we had here. Because I talked to her about it. And I shouldn't have. But even before that, and even before you, the woman never hit on me. Ever.
Why did you make it seem like I'm such a bitch over in Tucson, though? That was a month ago.
You have no idea.
Let me ask you, does it help the con? Like, does it help conning her if you continue to feed into it and be like, this fucking woman?
This is how you go from I hate her and I hope she fucking dies in a car wreck on her way home, which is about where I left it, to I want to spend the rest of my life with this chick, right? You transition. You build a fucking bridge. It's how the con works. This is a long con. I've taken her for 15 fucking grand. Plus, I shouldn't say that. It's probably 20 or 25 by now. There's 3 loads of 5, and I don't know how much other money, but it's probably closer to 25 grand that I've taken from her in 2 years. This is a long fucking con, and it requires stroking the fucking person. And I'm not conning anybody else in my life. There's nobody else I'm doing any cons.
You're not?
On. No, the money started getting to the point where I could fucking sustain. And if it didn't, I'd pick one off from the herd and
How often does she give you money? Every month?
No, when I need it. But she consistently puts $400 a month on over the course of a month in super chats or whatever. No, when I need money. When I need money, I don't even ask. And then when she sends it, I bitch. Because that's what a good con artist does. What are you doing? I'm sending this back. I've sent it back twice. Where I just whip the fucking cash back. I'm not taking your fucking money. To stop doing this. She turns around and sends it back. Because if you're a good fucking con artist, when they fucking call the cops are going to go, he sent the money back 3 fucking times? This guy ripped you off? You threw money at him.
Could she call the cops on you for
Anybody
that?
can call the cops on you. But the law says this. The law says, if you give it to me, you can't change your mind later and go back and say, hey, I gave him $150,000. And I didn't get anything. What did he tell you he was going to give you for it? Nothing. Do you have a text message? No, because if you say to somebody, give me this 150 and I'm going to do this, you're a con man, you're going to prison. But if you just continue to talk, and the person, I've never asked her for $1. I didn't ask the other bitch for any money either. And she sent 15 and 17.
And there's nobody else you're doing that with?
Nope, not that it matters. But no, there's nobody else in my fucking life that I'm doing this to. I would imagine some point I'll have to.
Why?
Well, because I'm not going to be doing anything more with Sean. I'm
Crazy.
fucking done with those people. And it's going to end up, I don't know, maybe I'll continue to grow. We'll see what happens. And I'm not going to lie to you. The first time I took her, I didn't need the money. But you weren't in my fucking life. And this is what I've done since I was born. And it was so fucking easy, and it was just sitting there. And then I looked her up and saw what she was fucking worth, and I was like, fucking, who cares, man? Honestly, to peel this fucking bitch isn't gonna hurt her.
Is she really wealthy?
You have no fucking clue. She doesn't even feel what she sends. Nothing.
Like millions?
Yeah. Yeah. She inherited, I think, 5.5 from her mother. Her house is paid off in cash, so she's probably got $4 million in the bank, and it's in investments and everything.
How many kids does she have?
2, and they don't really talk. She has a son and a daughter, and she takes care of both of them. If they need money, she just whips it out to them. But when you got $4 million in the bank and your kid needs $5 grand 5 times a year, it's just not fucking putting a dent. The interest isn't even fucking up. And I want to tell you something. I could take the house. I could have this bitch hand me everything when she dies. I'm not kidding you, but I'm not that fucking dude.
She's not that old.
She also ain't gonna make it another 5 years.
How is she your age?
She's way older than I am. She's 10 or 15 years older than me.
That would be 70. She doesn't look that old.
If she's not 70, she'll be 70 in a couple of years. She's right at that. She's about 15 years older than
I would have guessed her to be like 55.
Not even fucking close. And she smokes 2 packs of fucking cigarettes a day, and has been her entire life. No, I could have gotten everything, and I could do this to 40 other people. But I'm not a con man anymore, whether you believe that or not.
I don't think you are. Even I don't think you are. I just wanted the whole picture. And I understand it now. And if you had told me that on that drive, which obviously I didn't approach it well, but I just want the truth.
It was the 5th fucking thing brought up in that car. It was one fight after another. And after we were ready to tear each other's heart out, you decided to start talking about...
I don't remember fighting before that.
We started fighting inside the hotel because I said to you, can I help you get this or whatever? And you're like, I gotta get out of here now.
Over the Jester stuff, sure.
Yeah,
but I wasn't mad at you.
But you didn't tell me that. You stormed out of the place, didn't say a word to me. So when we got in the car, I went, what just happened? And then you barked at me again. I had to get out of there. And I was like, holy fuck.
Well, you've done that to me before.
I'm telling you what happened in
I
the
know.
car. You
I'm
wanna
just saying.
rehash
I
it?
wasn't mad at you. I
Well,
was
it's
freaking
certainly
out. I
not
was
how-
worried that you were going to get arrested. That's
Well,
what I was
it's not
worried
how it
about.
was coming across. You didn't
Okay.
say, I'm worried that you were getting arrested.
I think I was in my head pretty hardcore, if you remember. I was freaked out. And I got really freaked out when you tried to go live and your stream cut out. And I was like, we got to get the hell out of here. I always am worried about you because you have a record. I'm afraid they're going to do something to you.
That's not what you said, though.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I'm always thinking.
I believe that.
I do too.
I think she really loved him.
You absolutely, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just telling you, you can believe it or not. I don't long term give two shits about your phone. If I gave shit about your phone, guess what I would have done? Gone through other text messages. I went straight for, and that's all I did. Because that's the answer I wanted. I don't believe you're doing other things. I didn't go through your messenger app. I didn't go through your photos. I didn't do all that fine tooth comb shit. I had questions about, it was not your phone. I didn't look at any other texts. I don't care. It's her that I was caring about. It was incredibly wrong, but I also felt like I was right. I hate that she hates me and tells you that, and you have to appease her.
Did you keep reading? Did you get to the part where that fucking stopped from her, or did you miss that?
The part where you said, I'm marrying this girl, you said I'm going full bore or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was great until I stopped when she said, can I come to the wedding? You said, if there is one. Right now, it's just a show.
Fucking bridge. Do you understand?
No, I didn't, because I don't think I could con man, Tommy.
Well, I'm trying to explain it to you.
I know you are, but you have to understand, I didn't understand that part.
And you wouldn't have if I tried to explain it to you beforehand either.
You would have.
No,
Yes, because
trust
you
me.
just explained it to me and it made total sense, but I don't think that way. I don't even know how to con people. I don't know what that means. I'm sure we've all done it, right? Like subconsciously.
I don't know. I've never done it subconsciously.
Okay. Well, you said it yourself. She's a mark. Isn't that the same thing?
Yep. Yeah, I picked out the crowd. I researched 4 other people, looked at their properties, saw what they drove, right? That kind of shit. I picked up because recently has fuck you money, set it on fire money, right? I don't want to rip off somebody that makes $100,000 a year, right? I take 15 to 20 grand from somebody that makes 100 grand a year. I'm a horrific human being. And this may not make sense to you, but I'm really trying to not be a horrific human being, even while I'm being a horrific human being.
That's gotta suck.
Meaning you're already a little dirty. You're not trying to get more dirty.
I'm never not going to be able to be dirty, I guess. So I'm not trying to. I could be picking them off. I could be doing this to 9 people at the same time. I could be bringing in 150 grand a month conning chicks in this fucking thing. It's easy. I don't do it.
Just real quick, sorry guys. I know that we're all like intently listening to this. What him saying that like he wants to but doesn't want to, and I do believe he struggles with that. Nobody, especially at our age, we are burnt out on going to jail and being bad people, right? There's like you become burnt out, like exhausted from it. But I think it's so instilled in him, and this is where I had the problem of him saying that he was saved, that he was a Christian, because that's how I knew it was real for me, was that the Holy Spirit convicted me right away of from big things to lying in a text. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm a filthy rag just like the next guy, but there's no fruit there, and we are called to be fruit inspectors. So anyways, I just wanted to say that I do believe he struggles with that, and maybe that's just like my lingering love for him, from the past, so I don't know, but I do believe that. I know Kim's going to think that's really funny. Kim, leave me alone. Yeah.
I think he struggles
Yeah.
with it. I really do.
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
stop him, but I think he struggles with it.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I do feel like if he did get a big lump sum of money, that I think he can maybe find his way now. If he got a lot of money for selling his voice to the AI company, that maybe now he can like settle down, doesn't have to grip, doesn't have to do anything bad, that maybe something will take. but having said all that, that doesn't change um, the essay. Do you know what I mean? So there, I mean, there
Yeah.
you go. I just talked my way right into a circle back to the beginning.
Well, I think it's like the addiction thing, that even if he wants to do better, be better, whatever, it's still in him, and I think he's gonna struggle with it until he really
Mhm.
something's gonna have to change big, and I don't think it's gonna be money. It's gonna have to be something inside
No,
of him, something his heart, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, that's kind of what I meant. I agree with you
Mhm.
totally. Is that maybe if he's comfortable enough and has money, that maybe his heart can start to change. You know,
Yeah, I hope.
does
For
that make
him, I
sense?
hope.
For
Yeah,
him, I hope.
yeah.
Um, but there's always the essay, and
Mhm.
I don't think those kind of desires ever change. I know lots of
Yeah.
SA offenders um, that like go to my church, and they're there one day and gone the next. And they're at
Mhm.
every Bible study, everything. My wife won't go to them when they're there, but one of my mentors leads it, anyways. And I was like, "What happened?" Like, "Oh, they got caught with whatever." I'm like,
I did it because
"Wow."
I fucking really was in a bad place. I didn't have another option because my option is to go into a bank and steal shit. That's been my option most of my life. So I went back to what I know. I didn't take money from someone that was going to be fucking hurting for it. I didn't fucking pick anybody that's broke. In both accounts, by the way. The fucking girl from Ireland has 700 Krugerrands.
What?
They're $2,900 a piece, solid gold coins. She has thousands of them, so she mailed me 30 grand worth. It's a sleeve this long. She didn't even fucking feel it. She bought when gold was $300 an ounce.
What
You
did
see,
you
like
do
right
for
there.
it?
Nothing.
I'm sorry. I'll rewind a little bit too. He said she has 700 Krugerrands, and then he says she has thousands of them. Do you know what I mean? He's like caught in this like grandiose
Yeah,
like storytelling. All right,
caught
sorry
that,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Fucking hurting for it. I didn't fucking pick anybody that's broke. In both accounts, by the way. The fucking girl from Ireland has 700 Krugerrands.
What?
They're $2,900 a piece, solid gold coins. She has thousands of them, so she mailed me 30 grand worth. It's a sleeve this long. She didn't even fucking feel it. She bought when gold was $300 an ounce.
What did you do for it?
Nothing. Same thing I did for Lena. I worked up a story. I created a fucking need for a
Flirt?
What?
Did you flirt with her?
No. I don't flirt with either of them. I create a need that requires a crap load of money. If you flirt when they fucking decide that what you did was fucked up and they call the cops and the cops go, he was flirting with you? Now you look like a con man. When they say to the cops, did he flirt with you? Not at all. Not at all. But I think he was ripping me off. Well, that's a shame because he's not even a charity. So what you gave him money, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. There isn't this.
Do you want to keep doing this in your life? Let me ask you, are you still looking at people and trying to size up their homes and shit when you talk to new people?
I don't talk to new people.
Well, you get new people on the boat is what I mean.
I don't look up anybody.
You don't do that anymore is what I'm asking.
No, I don't.
Does Johnny know about it?
Of course. Because he knows that I conned her? Yeah, he's doing it now. That's what's happening. And he's not doing it to be a dick and rip off more money. He's doing it because if I stop, this woman's going to become a fucking weirdo. Do you understand that as crazy as this is, the giving of the cash keeps her from fucking being insane? This woman has this much worth in her life.
She has power over you. Of course she does. She thinks she does. I'm
your
your bossy best friend, your bossy big sister.
Just as importantly, the woman feels like she's given something.
Right.
Okay, this $5.5 million got dropped in her lap. She didn't earn it. She's been a fuck up since she was 13. She's done nothing. She's never had a job. She's never done anything. She just inherited a shitload of money. And she's fucking smoked cigarettes and walked her fucking dog 5 feet a day.
I understand that, but from her perspective, don't make any mistake there. She thinks she has power over you. She says it.
The term confidence man isn't because you ask for someone's confidence. It's because you put your confidence in someone else. This is exactly how the con works. The fact that Lee feels like she has this much control over the lifeboat or me is why she gives fucking money. And I am in the process of making that fucking go away.
Does it bother you that she talks to you like that?
Everything about bothers me. Her voice. Worse than anything is her fucking voice. But everything about Lee bothers me. She's a shitty mother.
Would it be too much to say I'm with Reese and I can't do this?
Well, that's how the bridge ends, kid. That was how this ends. Is, you know what? This is hurting her, and you got to realize that if I got to make a fucking decision, it isn't going to be you. That's the end of the goddamn bridge. In fact, I could probably show it to you drawn out on a fucking journal if it made you feel better.
No, I just wondered if you would eventually say that to her.
The hardest part is getting rid of the person after the con. If you do it wrong,
Especially if it's a long one.
well, every con I do is a long con. And it's not just in case later on I get accused of being a liar down the road. Her name is...
How long ago did you get rid of her?
Before... If she wasn't a psycho, I'd have kept working her. She had more money. And she sent untraceable. She's gold coins. It's unfucking traceable. She FedExed gold coins to my house from Ireland. South American Krugerrands. $2,600 a piece when I got them.
What were you doing that was making her do that?
Do you really want to hear all of that shit? I mean, you want to know what a scumbag I am? Is that going to help?
I don't know. It helps me to put the story together. I always think in concepts, and I don't have a concept of what you would have been doing.
She sent a text and said, I haven't heard from you in 2 days. What's going on? Or no, you haven't been on the boat in 2 days. What's going on? And I said I was working with a local rehab, works with kids. Right? Now, the truth of the matter is, I was working with a local rehab that worked with kids. And for $4,000, the people at the local hospital, if I could come up with $4,000, which was their cost for the Suboxone for the entire place, if I came up with cost, they would just give it to us. I was literally paying wholesale what the fucking pharmacy would pay. No, I didn't tell that part of the story. I said, at $386 a head, $15,000 would get every kid in the room. Right? $4,000 would get every kid in the room. She sent me 15. I really did put every kid in the room on fucking Suboxone because I'm afraid of
But
God.
you took what was off the top.
I took 11 off the top. And then I found another one. And the other one had male and female, and not one female's mother would sign the fucking document to allow the girl to do it. So I got to do it for about $1,950 out of $15,000. So... But we did put 46 people on.
For just, being
She has
mean.
alopecia. And I'm not making fun because this is the fucking worst thing in the world, right? But, and her story is so much worse than, it's another reason that I just couldn't fucking continue to do her fucking story. She's rich, but she's genuinely fucked up. She bought all of this gold because she thought the end of the world was coming and she wanted to be prepared for it. And gold was $300 an ounce. Do you have any idea how long ago that was? This bitch has been waiting for the end of the world since 1989. Her whole house is prepped. She has nothing but food supplies from floor to ceiling. You can't even walk through the fucking place.
Have you seen her house?
No, but I've seen pictures of it. She's got enough fucking food to feed her village if the fucking electromagnetic pulse takes out.
So she's
I'm
nuts.
not kidding you. The village.
And you don't talk to her anymore?
God, no.
Since we've been together, you haven't talked to
I
her?
haven't talked to her since a year before we were together, 7 months before we were together. She scares the shit out of me. Doesn't. Scares me. At some point, she's going to call the authorities. Yeah, it's a guarantee. The 30 grand, she's going to start getting in her head how much help it could have done, and she's going to call the authorities. And she's in another country, they will come talk to me. Interpol is a whole lot different, but they can't do a fucking thing to me. She gave it to me. And here's the other beautiful thing. I have receipts for every kid we put on it. Now, you're not going to see the money, but you can see the name of every kid. And if I say to the people, I did this through QuickMD will not give up the fucking records. And QuickMD charges $395.
Why would she come around by that, like now? It's been years.
I don't think she misses a show.
She still watches?
I would assume so. Yeah, and I could be wrong. Maybe it's my ego that says that. But when everybody freaked out like a month ago and I got that stupid fucking request of I should do a show, she's like, all the people that are pissed that you could come on and talk to you. And I'm like, fuck all the people that are pissed at me. When she started rattling off the names, she put Paula Crawford.
Who did?
Who was I talking to? What's the
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Keela?
No.
Keela's the one. Or, no, Gretchen was the one who came to me and said to do that.
The one that was a mod of mine who was in...
Oh, Looking Glass lady?
Her. When she requested that I do a fucking show telling all of these fucking psycho bipolar. Remember how I got? Okay, well, she does that constantly, and there's nothing to stop it. It's not...
How do you know she's not back on the boat under a different name?
I'm sure she is. It's not like I could do to stop that. And I don't care. Here's the thing. I didn't break any laws.
It doesn't sound like you did.
It doesn't make me a particularly good person, but
It's not ethical, no.
But I didn't break any laws.
And you didn't break any laws with...
No, even less so. The only thing that makes me sketchy about it is that it came from another country, and I don't know how exactly that works. There's not really a paper trail because she sent gold coins.
I was going to say, how could you even prove you got them?
She sent $3,000 on the wire once, and that was just me being a douche. Believe it or not, I was in a casino, and I had just lost a ton of money, and I was walking out of the casino, and she happened to phone me, and I'm just not a good person. But I was in a casino. How long ago was that? I mean, I moved.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what your plan is with, but I don't think it's going to work. I mean, she is attached to you. You know, her whole, I'm worried that now that you're engaged, I'm not going to be in your 5, and am I texting you too much? I can wait till you get home to text you. Like, she doesn't look like she's going anywhere. She's pulling harder. She's clinging more. I'm sure you see that. She really has a problem with us being together, though.
A few minutes later.
I'm glad that I listened to whatever I feel like was my answer from God, because I feel like that's all I wanted from you. I just wanted you to be honest with me, and I appreciate your honesty. I know you're mad at me, but that's what I wanted from you.
And now you know.
I do, and I appreciate you telling me.
Same scumbag I've always been.
I don't know who you were in the past.
You're looking at worked off 2 fucking women for a grand total of about $50,000 or $60,000. Not a shred of remorse. You ever wonder if the shit I'm hiding's got nothing to do with you?
No. Because I think of us more as just one unit, so whatever you're hiding, I still want to know.
Maybe it's really hard for the world to know what I am. Right?
But I am your world. Unless that's not true. If you're lying to other people, I don't assume you're lying to me. Do you feel differently about me than what you tell me?
I'm really having a fucking motherfucker of a time since I found out you went through my phone. I'm not lying to you. I'm really fucking...
I'm talking about before that.
No. Kid, look for money. You think somebody's conning you? Look for where they're ripping you off. Look and see how much they're peeling you for. Because if they're not peeling you for shit, like if they're dumb enough to be handing you gifts, as opposed to going the opposite direction, they're probably not conning you. Or they're really working the long con.
I didn't assume you were.
I'm just trying to explain to you.
I've never thought of you that way.
Okay, well, everything that we did was genuine. With all due respect, I don't think you're going to inherit the universe. I wasn't around for any of that shit.
I never thought you were. I don't look at you that way. You look at you that way.
That's because this is who I am.
Well, I didn't know that.
The irony of what I do, right? The irony of what I do is that I spent my whole life trying to rip people off and con people, and now they line up and want me to take their cash, and I don't. That's the irony. That's why we're always laughing about this. It's got nothing to do with that I'm helping people and I'm talking to people. Instead, I'm a con man. Like, this is the richest ground on history for ripping people off. Every day somebody sends me a fucking message that says they want to hand me fucking money. And every time I say, you know what, donate a couple of super chats, buy some people some memberships, right? Handing me money with my background is not something I really need to risk. I say it all the time on the air. Do you know how many people wanted to give me enough money to buy Q out of prison? People that said, I'll pay his entire legal fees.
Did you say no because you could go to prison for that?
I say no because I don't want to be the person I've been my whole life.
Do you also say no because you don't want to be a slave to those people like you are?
No.
Because giving large sums of money always comes with something.
It does. But if I was going at it the old way, I wouldn't care. I'd turn and burn and go through them, and I'd make them all fucking nuts when they fucking complain. And this one is the ultimate, right? They show up and they go, yeah, you helped people prove it. Well, I'd like you to, but HEPA's not going to let me hand you a fucking list of people that I fucking helped, is it? I can't disclose any of those people's personal information. And do you know how many people I really...
Have you ever done it with a guy?
Have I? I don't ever do it with guys. Guys become violent. Guys want to fight you if they think that they got fucking taken. Women feel dejected, fucking walked away, they're embarrassed, they don't want to tell their friends. Guys buck up. A guy feel like he got ripped off, he wants to fight you. And if he thinks he can't kick your ass, he calls the cops. Guys are never marks. Unless it's a short con and you're going to get somebody really quickly or whatever. Fake Rolex con or something like that. Where you hand a guy a watch in a parking lot and tell him you need to borrow $500, you give him the watch as collateral. Like those kind of fucking cheap ass cons, you can do that kind of stuff. But if you con a guy, a long con, and you take 10 or 15 grand from him, I ripped off a guy named Lee Herzler in 1989. He's still looking for me.
Jesus.
10 grand. I looked him up about 10 years ago. Reached out to him. I said, you know what? I'm flush with fucking cash. I said, I didn't rip you off, and I really didn't. I mean, we got ripped off together, but I didn't try to rip him off. Somebody ripped me off. And I said, I'm flush with cash. I'd like to send you a little bit. And he's like, I need 106 grand. And I was like, pretty sure you lost 10. And he's like, yeah, but if it had been in an interest-bearing account, like this dude had worked this shit out. He's like, if we're going to... I said, I'll tell you what, punk, you fucking meet a place and I'll come bring that fucking money to you. You tell me where we're going to come, because I would have killed him. I was actually trying to be a stand-up cat.
Where is he?
Houston, Texas. He got the nuts he was born with, fortunately. So I looked him up last time I was in Houston. He wouldn't come and see me. I don't fuck with dudes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this, babe. This is a totally different side of you that I didn't know. And I can understand why you wouldn't want to share it, right?
Do you know how many times I said to you, she's a mark? I said to you, this woman's not a friend of mine. This woman is a fucking person on a boat who's got fucking problems, who gives me money.
Well, you've said that. But I just didn't know the depths of the conversations, and you had to throw me under the bus and trash me to appease her. That hurts my feelings.
I'll bet it does. That's why I wasn't sharing it with you. Would have been over, would have been gone, she'd have been gone, the con would have been over. My brother probably be popping her for $1,000 every couple of months. And you wouldn't know I'm a scumbag.
Well, I don't think you're a scumbag even though you told me that. I don't feel any different. I'm just happy that you told me the truth. I don't think it's healthy to have a relationship with someone and a friendship or fake friendship with someone who you have to trash your relationship, though, in order to get whatever you're trying to accomplish.
If you think there's anything you can find that's healthy about what I do, right, to these people, if you can find the vein of healthy in there, that's a fucking shocker.
What does that do to you? Do you wish you were somebody else? Do you wish you were doing something else?
I want to do what I do, and I don't want to have to ask anybody for fucking anything. I don't want to have to con. I don't want to have to rob. I want to go in front of a fucking camera, let people listen to me once or twice a day, and make $40,000 a fucking month doing it. And the sad thing is, I can.
Okay. I'll just voice to you my goal at this point. I have no idea where you stand. I assume it's where you stood 45 minutes ago, so I'm just going to assume it's the same. Your decision is the same. I appreciate you being honest with me. I'm sorry I went through that. I know you don't think I'm sorry. I didn't look at anything else. That's all I wanted an answer on was leave. I don't distrust you anywhere else except there. But I think that the gesture thing has a potential payout if we can get it to the right hands. If we can still get Casper to put this together, I think it still would help the four of us financially. I don't care what ways we go, but I think it would be a huge fucking disservice to all of us to say fuck off to that. You don't have to talk to me ever otherwise, but I think we should go forward with it. I think you want money. I think there's money to be had there. Sean Atwood fucked that up royally because it would have gotten much more. Yeah, but I still think if he's willing to let us try again and Casper can put it together, I think there's huge fucking potential for that. When me, you, and your brother were in Tucson, I think your brother made some really good points. Nobody else is chasing this. And there's nobody else that could. You heard that fucking guy that lives wherever. Remember that dude the other day? We recorded him on speaker? The Mason dude? He even said it. He goes, you have way more than I've ever seen. You know more than the Masons know. To me, that's a gold mine. I don't know how we make it into cash, but I think it's doable. And I think also, like I told you in Tucson, somebody's going to do it. There's going to be some bitter fucking wife that's going to go through things and do what I did. But I took years doing it. I think if you tell me to fuck off and never talk to me again, that's fine. But I think the four of us together doing it makes it stronger and more powerful because we can all tie our channels to it. And again, you don't have to have any kind of relationship with me otherwise outside of that. But I just think it would be stupid to walk away from it. It's a good story. You were a part of it.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, that was the second part. My bad. Sorry, that's it. Yeah. Um, I need to do some post edit stuff to this. There's and I just want any if anyone needs to talk to me, just email me. I don't want to say too much on the live, but just email me inside the mind x at gmail.com. And I'm probably gonna unlist this video when we're done. And I just want to talk to a few people first. What'd you think, Susie? Pretty hectic, huh?
Yeah, it it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
hard to listen to. It's like you're listening to insanity. It from both.
Yeah.
And I think that they are just sick. The
Mm-hmm.
greed. The
Mm-hmm.
greed has just eat them both up. And I don't think that he's any worse than she is or that she's any worse than he is. And I think that she's actually being honest when she says that she doesn't think any worse of him. Like, as long as the girl's not pretty or he's not flirting with her, she doesn't seem to be, upset with it. And I mean, she can twist that how she wants. She can spin it and say, well, I was, protecting myself. I was scared. But I give her, I still say, I understand how she can talk and not sound scared, how she can sound kind of, very calm. But that doesn't mean that she's excused for the things that she does say. That
Mm-hmm.
means that she's excused for the tone
Mm-hmm.
of how she's saying things. And I think that she sounds like she's desperate to keep him. So, she still wants to be
Because
in a
he must have
relationship. She
broke up
still
with her
loves him.
before. Yeah.
Yeah,
Before she hit record, he must have broke up with her.
must
I
have.
didn't realize that before. I listened to it like one time when she first gave it to me, and then never listened to it again. I think I listened to half of it with my wife, but she was over it. She listened to maybe a half hour of it. And then but then when I edited this, and then when she played it, I listened to it. And it took me a long time to find it on my hard drive. I couldn't even find it. But I did, because I did send it to I forwarded it to law enforcement, and as per their request.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was weird. Um, yeah, I don't, I think someone did say something. She knows she's being recorded,
Yeah.
so there's always that piece. But he does have some rage issues, right? So,
Oh,
and there
yeah.
was some instances where I think he was really like volatile. I mean, I don't think he ever hit her, but he was really
Yeah.
volatile with her. So I think maybe her tone was to like just to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
him even, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so I don't know.
I did wonder about one thing on there where she
Sure.
says that she'll voice Michael, you know, right before she starts all the stuff about that they need to stay, that y'all need to stay a group to do this thing for the
Yeah.
jester. She says, I'll voice Michael in this or something. So I don't know if she's talking about in Michael in that Spank's name.
Oh yeah, I think it is. I think it is Michael. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, at that time they were really pressuring me to get it done.
Yeah.
All they did was give me pictures and
Yeah.
recordings. I didn't know
Basically,
the
here, you
story.
do it.
Yeah, I didn't know any of the story. So basically, I took every video they ever did of when they talked about the gestures on any platform, and then whatever there was out there about the gestures, and I put it into a Google Notebook. And then in Google Notebook, you can put all that information in, like links to the videos, and then say, make me a 20-minute documentary using this information with voiceover. And that's how I made it. And then I recorded the voiceovers, and then all the video and the way it was, I inserted certain things. That was all me. But it took me hours and out, like 90 hours of doing it. And it was nuts, man. It was nuts. Um, now in hindsight, I don't think it ever would have went anywhere unless, unless she took the story to like a bigger news, platform. I think it was
The
just
thing
another.
is, everyone can say we're going to take this to Netflix or Hulu or whatever. We're going to,
Mhm.
we're going to do this. It doesn't mean they're going to buy it. I mean, you
Right.
can take it to them. So
Yeah.
I think they have this really, they think that they're bigger shit than they are. Like,
Yeah.
he used to tell her all the time on the lives that she was a celebrity. You know, he
Hmm.
would tell her she's a celebrity. She's a celebrity, and that, well, she had somebody recognize her a few days ago. Well, guess what? I have less than 2,000 people on my channel. I had somebody recognize me in Savannah, Georgia. Somebody
Oh
I
wow.
don't know at a Target.
Hell yeah.
So I have like 1,400 people, and this was when I had like maybe 1,100 people. So just because one person, and it was in the town she's living in, that town is doing nothing but talking about her. But
Yeah.
anyway, but my point being is that I think that they think they're a bigger deal than they are.
Yeah.
Like they
It's
think,
like,
oh,
it's
we
like,
can do this and Netflix will just buy it because it's us, because we're
yeah.
such big shits.
The,
And
yeah. Well, there's that video of when she meets him for the first time. And she's like, "Oh my God, look, everyone, it's Tommy Scoville, the Tommy Scoville." And he was just
yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, hey." And I was like, "What the
Well,
heck is going on right
and
here?"
when she's doing it, he's like way off over there, and she's supposedly with this group of people, and she kind of glances around, sees him way off in the distance, and oh my
Yeah.
God, oh my, oh, it's Tommy, it's Tommy. I'm like, I thought right then, bitch, you knew he was coming.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
Which
just mean
I
like the
kind of
whole
figured
like,
it was anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
wasn't
I think that
around
they're
for
a big
that.
deal.
I wasn't around for all that history. And to catch up on all that, it's hard to watch because the voices get to you.
Oh,
This
I
it's
know.
just whenever my wife
I
hears Tommy's voice in my office, she just leaves and she can't stand it. Yeah.
My husband does the same thing. We can be laying there on the bed and I'll be watching videos and he'll have his iPad and he'll be playing a game or something on it. We'll have he'll have his little
Mhm.
earplugs on and everything, but he can still hear like Reese's voice or something, and he'll
Yeah.
just get up and leave. He'll just leave.
Yeah.
He can't. Which
Yeah.
she thinks that like we're all watching her videos all the time. And to be absolutely perfectly honest, I watch if somebody sends me a timestamp or something and says you got to see this, but
Yeah.
I cannot make myself watch her. I
Mhm.
I think because I really cared about her for a long time, and you really cared about him,
Mhm.
and so when I see her now, I don't see the person that I cared about at all. I see this manipulative, just awful, mean, liar.
It's hard not to
And it
see
and
it.
it hurts me. It hurts me to watch her, and it makes me feel literally physically ill because I really did like her. And I was one of those people that when people would badmouth her, this is early, early on, early
Mhm.
on. People would badmouth her and I would just be like, "You're just jealous. She's got a good channel," and, blah, 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 until I heard the receipts that I heard. Now, whenever I was confronted with the receipts, I knew immediately. I knew
Yeah.
absolutely immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, I looked at the one of the texts today of her telling Tommy like you got to get rid of this guy. He's what did she say about me? Like he's the guy that people walk away from when he tells his stories, and he's too controversial. And yeah, they just yeah. And then, but to my face,
Mhm.
it's like, oh my God, hey, you know,
Oh,
ugh,
yeah.
I hate that. And that's
Yeah.
you know another reason why I'm showing that, just to show the Mean Girl stuff.
Uh-huh.
Anything else that was exposed in it. I'm just going to apologize now if it was adverse. I thought that everything was public knowledge, like when there was
Yeah.
issues, because the issues were online. Them talking about those issues, I just thought they were public knowledge. But please, if anyone needs anything from me regarding this video, please email me like right now, and I will, on my way to work, I will read those, and then when I get off work, I will take action if there's anything I need to take action with.
Yeah.
So anyways,
It's just a mess. Another thing I wondered about was, and this was just a thought I had, was
yeah.
that you had said that, one of her mods is the one that actually did the editing for
Thank you,
her.
Wolfie. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what gets me is it's like, I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. I just, how did they not tell everybody? you know, how did they not tell everybody this is what she was really doing? And I mean, it's just, I don't blame them at all. I don't blame them all.
They
I'm saying
Oh, you mean the people that like helped her like edit the
that the
video
ones
and
that edited it, that heard the
yeah.
whole thing kind of deal.
Mhm.
Yeah. It just,
Yeah.
I wonder how it makes them feel, how they
Mhm.
feel about it now. I just,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
think there's a lot of victims in this thing. I really do. I think that there's a lot of victims. It's not just the couple of women that he was actually victimizing. There's a lot of victims. I see her mods, his mods. I see everybody in some ways as a victim, but they need to get the hell out of there because the proof
Mhm.
it's there.
Mhm.
They just anybody that stays with them at this point,
Who is
they're
informed.
choosing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they sent me the link to the video for the lifeboat, well, they sent them last night. There must have been a late video because these emails were late. And when
Yeah.
I was reading the comments when I was watching it, um, I mean, there's people just are like on their knees, and it just
Mhm.
blows me away. And a lot of people know
Me
it. They're
too.
like, "No, you are the truth. Everyone else are the liars."
Yeah.
And
No,
that's
I'm just like,
that kind of blind
ugh.
loyalty that when all this first happened, I made a video on blind loyalty and how I'm
Mhm.
and a good example of that was Alan Ballantyne. He was a good
Mhm.
example of like, no way, Jose. Yeah, I love you, and we were close, and I would have done anything for you, but
Mhm.
this I will not
Yeah.
do.
There's that
Just
breaking
a
point
really
of
good
no.
example. Yeah.
And then he says Alan's the piece of shit.
Well, yeah, because
Anybody that says enough is, they're the piece of shit.
yeah, if we're not swinging off his nuts, pardon the
Yeah.
term, um,
No, but you're right.
then yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
sure is
Yeah,
silly.
there's just a lot. There's a lot of people that have, you know, been hurt. I think about things that, I mean, when she sat there and said, that the one looks like the Marlboro Man, but I also think about things that she has said about Keela and that she has said about Jimena and Hockey Town John, and I mean the list goes on and on. And that's all. I don't feel like I'm telling tales because they've told their story.
Yeah,
They've made
I haven't heard
my
those stories. I
story
really want to do that too,
theirs.
and because I
And
just
these are
love
good
Jimena.
people.
I want to like have a
I
conversation
know.
with her someday.
She's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I'm kind of a fanboy. Yeah, kind of fanboying on Jimena. Yeah, not like in
Yeah,
a
she's
creepy
something.
way. Like just like I
No, I
just
understand. Hey, I'm
her
fangirling on her.
peaceful or just
Yeah.
her calm voice. I just love it. I wish my Spanish was better so I could have a conversation with her in Spanish.
Yeah.
When
She's
my
fast. She's fast at because she's still practicing with her I mean, she's good at it. She speaks like 4 languages. She speaks
yeah.
French and English and Spanish, and I can't remember the other one, and I know. Oh my goodness, I know, and I can't think about it. Can't
Yeah.
remember it, but anyway, she told me and I know, but I can't remember. Oh, what a mess.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I don't know, there's been some just absolutely lovely people that have left. When I made that song yesterday that I did, I don't know if did you ever watch the song that I sang? You'll have to go
No,
watch
no,
it.
but I will. I will.
Yeah. But in part of it, I said that that she tried to destroy, or I don't remember what I said, but anyway, destroy a good man, which was John, Hockey Town John. And then I said that she, bashed her very, whoops, I keep losing my thing, my earplug. Anyway, I said you bashed your very best, first best friends. And that's what she did. I mean, people, they think we're all lying, but the thing is that the ones that are telling it were the ones that were her very best friends 2 or 3 sets of very best friends ago,
Yeah.
so, their time's coming. Their
Was
time's
John,
coming.
the gentleman that was coming down for a visit?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, he seems like a really cool soul too.
He
Like,
is a sweetheart. He is very
yeah.
sweet. He's one of my mods now, so is Jimena and Keely. Keela. I always
Mhm.
wanna call her Keely because 'cause I've got a cousin named Keely. I got some cousins, y'all. I got a lot of them. But, anyway, yeah, I always do that. I always wanna call her Keely, but Keela, I know her name, I just always say it wrong. But, they're just lovely people, and she absolutely tried to destroy them, and that's just so unfair. And
Really?
yet the ones now will not believe it. Yeah, you'll have to watch their stories. You'll have to watch their stories.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
unreal. It is
Are they
unreal.
are there stories on their channels? Do they have
Yeah,
channels?
yeah, they've got them on their channels. There's some that are on mine too. So you could kind of, go to theirs or, I can try to look and send you the links or
Well,
something because there's
I
some
seen
really good ones.
John's story. I just can't remember what channel it was. And that's when I heard like he was coming for a visit, was gonna stay in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
he
but
was
then
on
we,
yeah, he was on
yeah.
Jimenez. He was telling his on
Oh
Jimenez.
yeah, so that's where I seen it. Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
Jimenez. Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
she was leading the show. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And,
Um,
and Keela, she's got major, major, major health issues, and the stress of all this has just been, like, seriously life-threatening on top of
mhm,
the problems that she's already having, and then, to have been attacked the way she's been attacked, and it's not just by Reese. When Reese attacks, what she does is she sends her people, and they come in
mhm.
just in swarms. I mean, last night, Marilyn was getting it. She even got, like, threats and stuff, and I mean, it's ugly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
ugly.
Yeah.
And they all sound exactly the same. They're always the same. And just like how, like, Reese, she called, she likes to say I'm old, you know,
Mhm.
which I'm 58. I'm going to be 59 in a couple of months. And I'm telling you, I've been fighting for
You
cancer
look
for 14
marvelous,
years.
darling.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. You do too. But
Thank
anyway,
you.
I am proud of every stinking year because just about every year I've almost died. I mean, so it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, one of these days she's gonna be glad to be 58, 59 years old.
Mhm.
She's had it real lucky so far. But,
Yeah.
and I don't wish any bad on her. I wish she'd just I don't know. I used to say that I just wanted for her and Tommy or Brett, whatever, to just knock the shit off, just to knock that off, but they're not going to. And so, right now, I wish they didn't have channels. I wish that, I wish they didn't have them. And if that makes me a bad person, she says I'm a bad Christian. She says I'm old, I'm irrelevant, just all kinds of stuff. And fine, I'll be old, bad Christian, irrelevant, but I'm not going to be a grifter, a sad fisher, a
Mhm.
dry
Yeah.
beggar, or a
Yeah.
con man. I'm just not going to be any of those things. I might be, other things, but not that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's crazy. It's
Mhm.
just a sad thing. And I just like, I see people in the chat and I feel sorry for them. I see people in her chat and I feel sorry for them because I'm just like, one of these days,
It is
hopefully
true
they
though.
wake
They do
up, but what's it gonna
the
take?
when they come from her channel, because they've come around mine too and have said there is like a certain like language. It's you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's almost like it is. There's a certain language that they say when they're protecting her. I'll have to like
Mhm.
screenshot them all and
Yeah.
like I mean that would be a drag to have to do that, but
Oh, I know, but
like
still. I've
and
got mine screenshotted, a bunch of
to
'em.
like show it like look at this. This is like I don't want to say culty, but I guess it is
Yeah,
kind of
it is culty.
cultish. Yeah.
Like, with mine, everybody talks about my age. Everybody says that I should want to be nice because I'm in my twilight years or my final days on Earth. Yeah. and that,
Yeah, my God.
cancer should have made me want to be a better person, but instead it made me mean. And
Yeah.
but it's those things. You know what I mean? They don't ever say anything that they disliked about the show I did or that they disagreed with. It's just personal attacks. You know, it's
Yes.
nothing but personal attacks.
Mhm.
And they sound just like her. It's the same things that she said about me when she was, making her attacks. And
Yeah.
she's apologized to you over and over. No, she hasn't. And,
Mhm.
she says she went on an apology tour. By definition, a apology tour is to go to individual people, go to them and apologize to them without any expectation that they will accept it. She made a blanket half-ass apology on her channel. That's not an apology tour,
Mhm.
and she didn't even really say what she was apologizing for. She just said, "I said mean things."
Mhm.
It's just she's just a mean girl, and it's so culty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I don't have any problem calling it the cult of Reese because it is very culty, and so is Brett's.
Yeah.
It just both
Yeah.
of them. It's just sick.
Let me do let me do I have some messages here.
Yeah.
Some thank you, Analytical Blarney, for the gift of memberships. I really appreciate that. That is so awesome. Analytical Blarney, did you do it twice? Oh, thank you so. Or no, is it twice? Well, thank you again for the gift of memberships, and then I think a third time. Thank you so much. Full of hope. I
That's
do see your message. I'm not going to put that out because but I can tell you it's negative against me, and I don't want to put it out because she's talking about suicide. So like I'm just gonna
yeah,
like I have her email. I'm gonna email um
yeah,
her with the one document. She's basically just asking me, what if I guess I dox somebody, and that's why I'm asking people to email me. Unalives herself later. That's on you, I guess. I left, and she says the name.
very
Oh yeah,
nice.
no, she's trying to. She had the other names of the people that I left out.
Yeah,
So she knows the story. And why not the other one? I I did miss one, not on purpose, and it wasn't their name. It was actually it sounds like their name, but it's not. It wasn't their name in the. And I'm not trying to make excuses. Like if I effed up, I'm
no,
admitting I effed up. Um, but I don't think it's. I don't think there's a reason why she would unalive herself. I really don't. Um, but that's why I want to talk about it. Send me an email to tell me why that would happen.
yeah,
And I'm not trying to be oppositional or
no, but
or disagree, but that seems a little dramatic. Full of hope,
it does.
and
It seems
full
kind
of
of
hope has been
harsh.
dramatic with me before.
Hmm.
Um, and so she's the one who gave me the information for um, the Homeland Security. That's how I reached out to them because she thinks I'm a part of the grift. Um, and so I did everything she asked me to do to prove that I wasn't. I'm not going to do any more. There's nothing more I can do. But now I'm unaliving people by the content. So
Yeah,
um, I don't see the reason why that would happen. So, but if I'm wrong, email me because now you got me Sam-splaining, and we all know how we feel about that. But there is a couple messages, and I do have a tattoo in 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna kind of read them so
that's
fast. Hey, KP and AZ says, hate me for saying it, but Reese to me is worse than Tommy here. I said, except for his crimes, of course, she is master manipulator and grifter, very self-centered. Agreed.
I understand that.
Um,
And
Lisa says, yeah, sounds to me like she's leading the conversation to get him to talk more for taping. I mean, absolutely. I can't believe he did it. I can't believe he broke up with her and then decided to, admit to all his things. Trust me, I went back and forth on this being real or fake or, Wade says, I feel like the conversation is very odd between R and T. Something seems really off.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
it's and like I said earlier, I go back and forth between having one theory about it and then another theory
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Isn't that awful
Um,
whenever you've listened to it and you honestly don't have any more clue what the hell's going on than before,
yeah.
other than it's just bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. And guys, I'm
Michelle.
gonna just put myself on here and say, I know that there's some people out there that's saying that a vulnerable person was doxxed. That was certainly not the intent. We are gonna mark this, take these videos down for a while. He can go back and fix it. He can, let me know and we can put them back up when he's ready, whatever the deal is. That was not anybody's intent, and
Nope, not even
it's
close.
just not. If
Um,
if you know him
I,
at all, that was not his intent. Why would he?
yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I took it out. I took them all out at the end. That was the same name at the end. And I
yeah,
took them all out. Those ones were like, I mean, they were really tucked in there.
yeah.
And I used
I mean,
AI
it's
and then
unfortunate, but
I used AI to do it, and then with all the spellings of it, because it was like all kinds of different spellings of it. And then I watched it, but it was 3 a.m, and I was very tired
yeah,
and I apologize, but I'm not. Yeah. Anyways, I'm trying
yeah.
I'm going to fix it. I'm going to edit it out and post edit. And I will take it off,
I
but
mean, it's the
yeah.
same thing. It's like when Aaron doxed Reese, he didn't mean to. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Shit
Yeah.
happens, and that sounds so cold, and he's gonna fix it. I mean, as much as he can, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to sound cold. I'm just saying I don't know what else, you know, we can't make it have not happened. We just have to try to fix it.
Yep. Yep. No, it'll be fixed. It'll be fixed here in the next, hour. Some people ask me to keep it up for a little bit. I will do that. But I'm just gonna unlist it just for a second so I
Yeah,
can remove something. Yep.
yeah. It's coming back,
Actually, I
guys.
don't even need to unlist it. I can just keep it up and remove it, and then
Okay.
you've done
Okay.
that before. Edited something out, a little piece out.
I haven't, but I understand
Oh
it can
yeah,
be
yeah.
done.
No, it's yep. I did mark down the
I mean,
time it was on
I'm in
there.
my
So
twilight years, Sam. I don't know how
you
to do
sure
all this.
are. Well, you look marvelous, darling.
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
So yeah, it's gonna get fixed. I don't,
Yeah.
576 people seen it. If there's anything I can do to help fix that, if you need someone to talk to, I'm
Yeah.
here. I mean, but you're probably mad at me. I don't know. I know most of this is public knowledge.
Yeah, that's the
You know what I
thing
mean?
is it
It's all
is.
been talked about on
I
other
mean,
platforms. So
yeah.
like, I don't. Anyways, I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Let's do it. Let's do another stream together soon and something really
Okay.
positive and fun,
Yeah, something
like
fun.
a
Yeah.
palate cleanser, like a palate cleanser. For real. Like
Yeah.
I
Something
want it.
like murder or something.
Yeah, like, yeah, true crime. Yeah,
Yeah, true crime. Let's do some
yeah.
bad,
Missing
fun
people.
stuff.
We'll figure it
God.
out.
Isn't that awful
Okay.
when that kind of thing is easier?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Uh,
Yeah.
yep. I am gonna
All right,
redact it.
guys.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Sorry. Yeah, we're ending it really weird, but.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay awake.